Welcome back to Ogre Speed Shop. We are back in the shop. We're not in the junkyard for once. And today we have the 1969 C10 back in the shop. And they did the easiest way I can think of. Just load it on the trailer and load it in here rather than trying to push it and pull it and winch it from inside here somehow. Just load it up, drop it in here, put the ramps down, good to go. Using the winch, real simple. Took me about probably 15 minutes total to get it off. And doing all the rest of the stuff, I've been running around like a madman. So yeah, we're good on that. So we're just gonna put the trailer back out and we'll get to work on getting this transmission put back in here. All right, so now I get the 69 C10 in the shop. What do we gotta do? First things first, we gotta get the bell housing back off, get the cross member back out of there, and get the clutch put back in, then put the bell housing back on, get the, I got a clutch alignment tool, so we align the clutch. Get that on, get the bell housing back on, get the transmission in. So I wanted to bring it in here because that transmission, which is somewhere around here right there, is probably heavier than that 700 R4. So that SM465 is heavy. It's all cast iron, very heavy 4-speed, whereas this is mostly aluminum, except for the internals. And I swear that thing's lighter than that thing. So want to make sure we can roll it around and get it up in there easier. I do have a jack, a transmission jack, which makes it a lot easier, but couldn't have done it. I took it out in the gravel, but it was a pain in the butt. So I want to make sure it's easier to do by putting it on in the shop on the cement, which is a lot easier. So that's why we're doing it. That's why we're in here, because we're getting close to getting this thing back to running. And the registration is halfway done. It's at the DMV or the tag agency now. So that should be back in a couple weeks, and then I'll own it and it'll be registered so we can get it driving. But we need a drive shaft. And to get a drive shaft, we need a measurement. To get a measurement, we have to have the transmission in there. So that's what we're doing. And I'm rambling again. I like to do that a lot. But anyways, let's get into it. Let's get this thing jacked up and get some room under there so I can work. Maybe even sit up underneath there. That'd be pretty cool. So let's do that. I think that'll be enough room to roll it up underneath there on the jack stand, or the transmission jack. Plus, with the training tunnel cover out of the way, I can sit right there and set up the clutch pretty easily. So I'm gonna be able to get my little stool in there. Probably not, but hey, it's kind of cool. That's what I like about these old trucks. Got plenty of access room for stuff. So one of the first things we're gonna do is tie the front end of the motor back up again. So we remove that cross member with the bell housing attached to it. It's going to want to flip back, so we want to keep it kind of level so it doesn't fall over in it. So it's just real simple. Let's get the plate on there. Flip this around so the ratchet's on top. And straighten the ratchet. Lock her down a little bit. If we need to tighten her some more, we will when we get the transmission, cross member, and bell housing out. There we go. That'll be good. That's all you gotta do to hold the motor up for most of the time. Most of the time on these things with a small block Chevy, because you know the motor mounts are way forward on it, so it's gonna tip back in the back if you don't do something about it. So you want to keep it level, or just keep it up so it doesn't flop back and ruin your motor mounts. Just tie it up with a strap like that. So y'all remember how I said it'd be really cool if I could just sit in here and work? Well, check that out. I can. So we're gonna get this bell housing off of here. So there's 1, 2, 3. Well, actually, I got 4 bolts in here right now. I didn't put the 2 up top if they even go. That one looks like it might have something in it, but either way, we're gonna get this bell housing out of here. And just like that. I gotta find the right length because I don't think these are all catching where they're supposed to. They're a little bit longer than normal bell housing. You kind of see by the witness marks how deep they were in there, and it looks like it's only about 1/4 inch. We want at least 1/2 inch of thread engagement on this. Alright, now I gotta remove the mounts here. The cross member can stay, should be able to stay. You just remove these bolts, it should take it out. This one's actually got threads in it. This one here is just using a bolt and a washer, or a bolt and a nut. I don't know if it's stripped out or not, or what happened with that one. That was missing when I got the truck, so I'm just basically putting a bolt and nut on there, make it the same thing. There's the lower rubber mount. So hope the bell don't fall on me, because that would hurt. Thing's not light. There's that one. Didn't see it. This should just come out now. I have to crank the motor up a little bit just to give it some clearance, but ain't a big deal. Just go do that. I think one click will probably do it. Can we? Oh, stupid spider web. Is that enough to get it out? Oh yeah. That thing ain't exactly light either. It's cast iron. These mounts are just sitting in there. There you go. So now you can put the flywheel back on, get the clutch in there. Already got a new pilot bushing, as you can see. Nice brand new brass pilot bushing. All new freeze plugs, which is the reason why we originally pulled the motor, was to replace those, and now we got it moving forward to where it's supposed to be. That's the way it's supposed to be, right? We're supposed to make it right. So, well, you know, as right as we can. There we go. All right, next we got to do is get the flywheel back on there. I'm going to clean it up real quick. I took a grinder to it just to clean it up, like a wire wheel or like a rotary disc, just to clean it up. So it'll be good. I just got to re-clean it because it's been sitting on a shelf for a couple of weeks and it's collecting dust. So let me get it cleaned up and we'll get her bolted back in. I'm doing a flywheel or flex plate. I always use red Loctite on the bolts just because I don't want it to come loose. And they are 65 foot-pounds. It's a little tight in here, so I'm not going to bother showing you or playing or trying to record it. So I got this clutch alignment tool. Comes with all these different sleeves here for your pilot bearing. Then it comes with a shaft that sleeve goes onto and goes right like directly into your pilot bushing. And you use this piece here, once you got your clutch in there, to go in there and slide it in, and a cone will center it. So we're going to try it out, see how it works. So when you're installing the clutch and a pressure plate, remember the raised portion always goes into the pressure plate. So just something to remember. So as convenient as this hole is, it's still not very fun, because when you're 53 years old, crawling underneath these cars and trucks and stuff is not fun. I really need to get a lift. But every time I want one, they seem like they've jumped in price quite a bit. So someday, because the problem is I can't do a 2-post lift right now because the cement in the shop won't hold it, and well, a 4-post lift just takes up a lot of room. So I don't know, but we'll figure it out. Get a couple of these things. Oh god dang it. Oh. I'm not using Loctite on these because they have a lock washer. Alright, got one started. Typically I like to use a actual like input shaft for a transmission for lining these up, but I don't have one for that size, so actually the only one I've got is for a T56, like a F-body T56, not even a Magnum or nothing like that. And it's 26 spline, this is 10, something like that. The main reason I like to use a splined axle or splined clutch or input shaft is because when you put this in here, I like to be able to spin it and get that thing to move. Got it too tight, probably. There it goes. All right. Think that'll work. These run in. Got some pressure on it. Remember right, these are 35 foot-pounds. In fact, I'm going to borrow you for a second. We're going to find out. So it is 35 foot-pounds, so I'm going to get those torqued in. I'm going to do it off camera. Just 35 in a star pattern. All right, we got the bell housing in. Just as a note, make sure you have your clutch fork in before you put that on there, because it will not go in there when it's already tightened down. And I have to shorten a couple bolts, the two over on this side for whatever reason, not going in all the way. It's going to take like a 1/4 inch off each one, because the four top ones should be like 1 1/4 inch. All I have is 1.5 inches, and nobody in town sells 1 1/4 inch. So, and the outside ones, I think I got 2 inches or 2.5 inches on there, and it's just a little bit long, not quite tightening down on this side. So, I'm going to cut a little bit off those bolts right over there, and they'll finish that up. Then we get the transmission in, and that bell house or the clutch fork is supposed to have some kind of clip. But the one that was in there was this one, and that is not the right one. So that's like a nail bent over, and I'm not going to use that. I'll take my chances just keeping it in there with pressure. Hopefully it'll work. Pretty much was the way it was in there before, so hopefully it'll stay in there with the linkages all hooked up. So now we moved this whole thing forward about 5 inches. The clutch rod is too long, and so we need threads all the way down to here, and then we can cut it off right about there. So I'm going to take a die to them and cut it all the way down to there, so we still have the adjustment of the nut to adjust the clutch. So that's all I'm doing here, because we moved everything forward to be proper for a V8, and this is what I got to do to fix it. All right, we got that clutch rod all cut down and adjusted. Now it's holding the clutch fork in, since it's the only thing that will hold it in is pressure right now. Like I said, I don't know where that clip is at. You know, who knows how long that's been missing. And their makeshift one didn't work. But I think we're ready for the transmission. I might clean these holes out a little bit. Gunk in there, but other than that, you gotta remember these holes right here are supposed to be they bolt in from the inside of the clutch. So that's gonna be fun getting those in there, but it's really not too bad. There's plenty of room to get up in there. It's just a time-consuming turning of it. But these two bolt in. We can get those bolted in, and then we can go back and do these ones. But yeah, we're ready for the transmission. Well, it's a pretty wet and cool day today, so it's a good day to get this transmission up in there, I think. So we're gonna get it on the transmission stand, or transmission jack, so we can get it lifted up in there, and hopefully it'll slide right in after aligning the clutch with the new alignment tool. So let's find out. The rain makes it really loud in here, but I got a pretty loud voice. So we got it up underneath there. I had to jack the front end up a little bit more to get it up underneath the frame, but it's in there now, so we just gotta lift it up into place and get her stabbed. We should be good to go. I think it's really cool about these old trucks is the center, when you have a manual shift, manual transmission, you have this big gap right here where they put a cover, which I do have the cover, it's right there. It allows you to install these things a lot easier. So I gotta go up about 2 inches. You can see right there, it's about 2 inches too low. So crank it up about 2 inches, it should slide right in. Might have to do a little bit of wiggling on the end of it, but shouldn't be too bad. Hopefully that pilot bearing stays in place, or not the pilot bearing, but the throwout bearing stays in place. Should be good. I'm gonna put some grease on that slide too, on that shaft right in that area there, so it's, you know, smooth on the throwout bearing. So let's go ahead and move it up about 2 inches. More. All right, let's try it right there. Now from up here, it looks like it's too high. Let me get some grease. At least the rain's lit up a little bit. So metal buildings and rain tend to make a very loud noise. Maybe I should go down a little bit. Gotta find that sweet spot. And there she is. I just gotta find the bolts. I don't know what I did with them. We'll find them and get them in there. The good thing is it slid right in. The fact that it slid in so nicely, that means that clutch alignment tool works pretty good. All right, we got her in there. I got one bolt, one of the bottom ones that threads in from the clutch side. They get stripped out, but I got 3 good tight ones in there. I'll probably take that one out, put a longer bolt in, a nut on that one at some point, but not right now. It's good enough. But she's in there, so now we can just drop the jack down. I couldn't record earlier because I don't have my microphone out here and it is pouring down rain, or it was. So, as you can see, the transmission is installed. Voila. And that's the mount for it, so it's all good. Everything's in there the way it's supposed to be. So now he's got to get a drive shaft made as soon as I figure out how long it's going to be. I just picked up the drive shafts for the 69 C10, and I went to a place called WAP, Western Oklahoma Powertrain in Elk City, Oklahoma. 2-day turnaround, so worked out good. I was just going to have him build this one for the to extend it, but I just had him change the U-joints and all of it and make it good, so good to go on all of it now. Pan out here. Much better. Now we can get that 69 running again. Get the drive shafts home. Let's go ahead and get them installed so we can get this thing back on the ground, so it's a little easier for me to get her running again, finish up down under the hood. So plus make sure it fits. I think it will. It's measuring exactly what I told them. So as long as I measured right, it should be good. So I'm the only one to blame on this one if it's not right. Hey, there's my other light. All right, I got the new drive shaft ready to go in. I'm going to clean these holes up here first, just to make sure it's kind of clean. I'm not going to worry about inside the yoke. I didn't realize how bad that was until just now, but just want these areas cleaned up here. It's a cute, good little wire brush that you can get from Harbor Freight. Maybe I will dig some of that. I gotta get that part cleaned up there, so I'll be right back. I figure I should put my safety glasses on at least. I just switched the battery over. It's dead. I didn't switch in a new battery or nothing. I just put in I just used the one that was on the other tool. Well, I'm definitely glad I got the glasses. Just got hit in the face. This is just filled with dirt. We'll worry about that later when we get to doing more restoration on this. I'm just trying to get it running and driving right now. And hopefully it'll run again, because we had it running all right. We had it running and driving, to be honest. And I decided to go further than normal, or actually, it's pretty normal for me. Further than I really had to. How about that? These are the caps. Stick this up in here. Get that in there. And that is dead nuts on. I am good. I'm good at measuring. Yay. So I like these kind of straps because they limit you on how tight you can go with them. Because you don't want to go too tight and crush the caps. These can only go so far. So they probably have an actual torque. Well, I mean, I'm sure they all have torque specs. All right, I didn't bring a tool. Maybe I'll get a tool. What is it, 7/16? 7/16? Should probably put Loctite on these too, but we'll worry about that later if we need to. Oh no, just break my freaking... Why are all my snap-on stuff breaking all of a sudden? Damn it. Probably because I don't have a snap-on dealer anymore. All right. Get the front end, now I gotta get the back end. I think the original ones were 7/16, so that's what we're gonna go with. If we can get that up through there. Perfect. There's one. I had the original hardware this morning, but as usual, I don't know what the heck I did with it. So now I gotta find those at some point. If I get these tightened down, then I'll worry about it. But I ain't too worried about it at this point. And there's a mark right here to line it up with the rear, so I gotta clean that rear up. Hopefully I didn't mess that up trying to get the old one out because it would not come out. I'd use a air hammer to get them off. And the right size wrench. One of the things you discover working on these old trucks, these old cars, is they didn't make room for power tools. Most of the stuff is by hand only. The original hardware that held this in has a hole in it with a cotter pin to keep it from backing out, but I put a lock washer on this. It should be fine. The only thing I hate is trying to torque something when you're on a freaking creeper. It just doesn't work. Well, that could have been a lot worse than what it was. How much crud am I getting in the filter? Quite a bit. Barely ran at all on that. All right, so we got the front end, and she spins very nicely. Not sure what that noise is, but hopefully it's nothing to worry about. Put that down, and we're gonna flip around and put the rear in. There you have it. Drive shaft is fully installed now. Just had a mosquito on me. Had to kill it. So, got the lines lined up. Got the new straps back here. I had to buy new ones because these are the ones that stuck. It wouldn't open back, or it wouldn't come out. So I had to use a air hammer. These are the kind you got to worry about not over torquing though. If you over torque that, it will crush these caps and cause your bearings to wear out quicker. So just be mindful of that when you tighten them down. It's just I tighten them down until it crushes the lock washer, and just kind of give it a little bit of extra after that without locking the wheel in. I just use my hand, so it's more than that, you can crush it. So all the drivetrain is installed now. So now we just got to make it run again. All right, so we got the front of the engine put back together. I resealed the back of the water pump. I don't know how good that water pump's going to be. I don't know if y'all remember from before, it was all crusty and nasty inside. Everything in this was pretty rusty, so it's definitely going to need a good flushing once we get it going and get it up to temperature. But got to change out the distributor still. I got a HEI for it, the original HEI, and I got a new cap rotor and wires and plugs for it as well. So we just want to give it the best possible chance for running here. And but yeah, everything else should be good. I don't know why it wouldn't run again. So except for the fact that we got a different intake on it. But and we're gonna be putting a way bigger carburetor on it. Again, we're gonna be using the Holley, that 750 double pumper I have, just because. I still need to redo fuel lines because they're not big enough. They got 5/16 lines to the tank, but that means I have to replace the sender, everything. So I'm not gonna worry about that right now. This fuel tank works, so we're gonna make it work and use it for now. until we get something, get those lines changed out. Starter still needs to go back in. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, obviously a radiator, but the radiator broke, so we don't really have one unless the Pontiac one will work. I don't know if it even holds that water. I think it had water in it. So we might be able to use that one temporarily. It looks like about the same size as all the truck ones I have. And the mounts were similar. But yeah, that's where we're at with that. I think I'm gonna put it on the ground though, because it is getting kind of a pain in the butt to work on it when it's way up here, even when I'm 6'5". So let's get her dropped down, back down on all fours. I don't know if you can see it on video or not, how much this side leans. I can't really tell if it's showing on video. You can kind of see it. Now that back corner is kind of low. I don't know if you can really see it in the video. But the reason being, because that side has like 2 missing and broken leaf springs in it. So it's pretty out of whack over here. But other than that, it's not too bad. There's a lot of damage to this thing. A lot of lights I gotta get working before I can drive it. This tail panel is really messed up, so, but I'm sure I can still make a light work in there. But yeah, so probably electrical is going to be the next thing, because if you remember, this was burnt, so I'm not going to reuse it, obviously. Let's see if I can see the melted wires right there on the end. Surprised they didn't catch on fire in the time I had it running, but we'll get that fixed. I got 2 extra harnesses, I think, or at least 1. And you know, if I can, if I will, or if I have to, I'll buy like a Amazon special one and just wire it in. There's nothing to these things. It's like 1 wire to make it run. So, but yeah, that's where we're at. Got the front end on there. I'm gonna get the HEI back in there, and this thing rolls really easily. Doesn't have any rear brakes, but yeah. We're getting there. I like this truck. It just, I don't know, it's got a nice look to it. For some reason, I really do like the look of it. But we're gonna get it running. I think I have a mirror for it too. I do have a side view. I got the original side mirror off of the GMC. And so one of those round ones, I hate them, but it'll look good on this one being low to the ground and you know, what it is. So be all right. At least it'll be legal that way. But yeah, that's where we're at. Get on the ground, finish up the putting everything on that, get a carburetor on there, get the distributor in there, and fire up again. All right, we got the carb on, we got the HEI on, we got spark plug wires that are temporary on, because you can't get HEI plug wires that are long enough for a 69 for these ram horns, because they got to run forward and around. I ordered some cut the length ones. So I'll make custom ones when they come in. It won't be till like Monday though, because I ordered from Summit today. It's Friday, so they won't get here till Monday, I'm sure. But fuel lines, fuel systems hooked back up. I should probably change the filter too, but it's fine. I'm not gonna worry about it right now. But it's pretty close to being ready to fire up. Oh yeah, by the way, a radiator from a 1977 Pontiac Grand Prix fits a 1969 C10 perfectly. Just thought I'd share. The hose, the lower hose might be a kind of an issue, but I just gotta trim this back or push this down a little bit and it should be fine. So yeah, so we're at with that. I need hoses. I just want to hear it fire up this weekend. That's my main goal. So it's pretty much ready to do that. If I put power to it, it should fire. But we'll see. Well, as usual, I forgot a very crucial part of this. I don't even have the starter in there yet. So we gotta figure that out first. Clean it up first. I know it worked. Let's hope it still works. This is one that bolts to the bell housing. I could run a standard one too that bolts to the block if I wanted to. But yeah, I'm not too worried about it. This one worked. So we'll go with it for now. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And but I'm gonna go in and cool off for a little bit and get some water and then come back out, probably put the starter in. All right, got everything hooked up. Well, mostly hooked up. And we're gonna see if she'll crank at least on her own now. It's got a wire and a wire and a wire here. So positive, the trigger, and ground. with no bolt. Together a little bit. A little bit more. There we go. Okay, we got ground. So she should crank. We got power. See the lights turns on? Alright. Should we try to start it? Why not? Just please tell us that whether or not we got everything hooked up right. I got HEI specific jump wire here. Make sure this throttle ain't sticking or nothing. All right. All right, here we go. Oops. We're getting spark. Good spark. It's weird, it's not even trying to bark off. It's getting spark. Why is it not hitting? What is that noise? Oil. From where? Oh. Blew the cap off. I'll be back when I figure that out. All right, got the little leak fixed. It's hooked to the gauge right now. See what happens now. Getting spark. Oh, gotta go. Starter's definitely not happy over here. My go-to carburetor sticking. And that starter just keeps going. And Well, we heard it start to bark off. The starter just ain't happy. As soon as I turn the camera off, of course, it wants to do more. Starter is just horrible. What the fuck was that? I think my cap and rotor is not very good. God, that starter is horrible. All right, I'm done. I don't worry about this game anymore. Everything's nice and hot. All right, it's late. I know it's light out, but it's like after 8. And I'm hot. It was a starter. Starters are not happy. Yeah, maybe the intake's the bad part. Who knows? But yeah, fun times. Well, I came out this morning to work on the blue truck here, and first thing I wanted to do was clean it up. So I wanted to get the oil spill cleaned up, and I did that this morning, first thing. And when I did that, I found this little thing underneath there. I couldn't figure out what the heck it was. So I came out, me and my wife went garage selling this morning. There was a big town garage sale going on out in Canute in Oklahoma. So got back from that, decided to hook up the battery, try starting it again, because it was pretty close yesterday. It was barking off. I mean, you all heard it, saw it. And I fixed, you know, the oil leak. Well, it wasn't really an oil leak. It's just because I put a cap on there. But anyways, hooked it all up. Tried firing up, and that thing, the starter just like, bleh, just did not want to work. Could not figure it out. Well, I mean, I knew it was going out. So then I came over here and I started looking at it. See that little area right there? Well, guess what's supposed to be in there? That's the bushing for the end of it. This thing is so completely, look at that. See all the movement? So yeah, that thing is toast. I got one order from Rock Auto. I tried to use a standard small block Chevy starter, one of the ones I had laying around. That one should have fit. But because this is an inline 6 bell housing, and it uses that kind of starter down there with the 3 holes, a standard starter don't fit inside that area there. So I had to order one that fits that or cut that ear off, which I'd rather just order the other one. It was $90 shipped from Rock Auto, and that's including a $25 core fee for a reman AC Delco. So hopefully I haven't been too, you know, the reman ones haven't been too good to me lately, but we'll see. Hopefully it'll work out. I probably won't even send this one back, but like $25, $25, but it costs like $15 to ship it. So is it really worth it? And I think that's what kind of count on. You don't have to worry about sending it back. But anyways, new starter's on the order, so that's going to come. So this is on hold again, waiting parts. So yeah, it is what it is. That's how it happens with these things sometimes. So I'll have to get on one of the other projects and get going on something else until this parts for this come in. But I still like this truck, you know, and hopefully the new starter will take care of all the issues we've been having trying to get it running. But that's where we're at with it, waiting on a part as usual. Yeah, we got our order from Rock Auto. This should be the starter for the blue truck, so we can get that installed and hopefully that'll work and get her fired up. The new starter works a little better than the old one did. Great. Nothing like having a sticking freaking solenoid. A pretty good whiff of oil. It might just be the blow-by coming out of that vent right there. All right, so why did it do that? It's awesome. Why is the starter? Yeah, let me check and see if that fitting's hitting or something. No matter what I do, it continues to freaking run as soon as I hit the start button. So something inside the freaking solenoid. This is the kind of crap you get now from parts stores. It's ridiculous. It came from Rock Auto. It's AC Delco Reman. What the so tired of this shit. The hell. I changed out the starter solenoid with the original one, ironically. Let's see if that one works. I did test on the bench and it didn't stick, so hopefully it doesn't stick now. Okay, here we go. Okay, look at that. I release the button. It stopped starting. It stopped starting, yeah. So, all right, now we're getting somewhere. And I think Dalton on Pole Barn Garage had an issue with that. His AutoZone one for the Pontiac he was working on this last week's video. It kept doing the same thing. So, I don't know. Crap starters, crap. Well, the starter's fine. It's just the solenoid this time. That's AC Delco. You know, but how good is that anymore anyways? Aren't they all made in China? But anyways, yep, we got a good starter on there now, so we can start working on getting it running. Well, let's see if we can get this one running at least. Now we got a new starter. Hopefully everything else is working. We're getting fuel. Let's see what happens. But yeah, that was awesome. I don't know what happened. Didn't want to run earlier, but it fired right up that time. It must have been you guys. Way to go, guys. Get the truck running. That's pretty cool. We got a runner now with this. Something still ain't quite right with the carb, and Sally has got a vacuum leak coming from underneath, but I got to figure all that out. I don't know. I know this intake wasn't that great to begin with, but I'm not really ready to spend too much money on an intake right now, especially when I'm trying to get that put into the 1 ton over there. But yeah, like next thing is let's see if this 77 Grand Prix radiator will hold water. But we gotta get hoses first. So we got a 180 thermostat in there, I think. I don't know. I think it's a 180. I can't remember. I just put it in there. I don't remember what it is. But in the water pump, hopefully it'll work. It looked brand new, but it looked like it sat with water in it. So I cleaned it all out, resealed it. Hopefully it'll work. But we'll get the belt on there. I gotta get a belt too. So looking pretty good with this one. Just gotta get some water in it. All right, went to the parts store today to get some radiator hoses and heater hose so we can get this thing hooked up to water. So I figure out what the belt is. I have the original belt, which is kind of worn out, but probably make it work. I also got this. I got a new carburetor, an ABS2. So it's a 650 CFM carburetor, and yeah, so we're gonna put that on there instead of the double pumper, 750 double pumper. It's way too big for any engine I have right now. It might work on the 400. That'd be the best bet for it. But that thing's set up for a big engine, 454, or even that 400 would probably work pretty good on that one, on the Camaro back there. But that's not my engine, so we, yep, so we got that carburetor put on there. We got radiator hoses. I put this shroud thing on there. Hopefully it doesn't hit the fan. Could probably pop it up a little bit there. And hopefully I can make this radiator work, because the port down here is a little different. On the 6772, this port kicks up a little bit at an angle. So I don't know if the lower radiator is going to work. The one I have in that truck, it works fine, but it's also taller because it's got the 3/4 ton and 1 ton have different motor mounts and radiator supports. So, core support mounts. So it's a little different, but we're gonna try it out, see if it'll work. I'm sure I can make it work if it doesn't work exactly. So that's what we're gonna do. So hopefully the upper radiator hose works the way exactly it's supposed to. And it looks like it should. Definitely not like that. It needs to be shortened a little bit. Maybe not. Get this tape off there because that can affect the way it goes on. I think it does need to be shortened just a little bit. We'll take a little bit off of it because otherwise it's going to kink, and I don't want it to kink. So basically where the tape line was at, we're going to cut it. Got these in a estate sale cleaver cutter, but it works really good on heater hoses or radiator hoses. And be careful of that blade because it's super sharp. It will cut you. So get the clamps on. All right, it'll definitely work. Don't come anywhere near the fans. No kinks. I like it. I was watching a video last night. It's a channel called Full Blast Garage, and he's like me. He makes sure you put the hose clamps in a position where you can actually access them. I don't know how many times I've found a hose clamp that is on in a position which I have no idea how they even got it there, let alone to get it off. So it's pretty crazy. I'm happy to know I'm not the only one that does it, or gets irritated by people that do that. I'm going to move that a little bit this way so I'm not getting poked by that hose end, or you know what I'm talking about, that thing. All right, now the real test is the lower. I'm pretty sure not to cut it as well by a lot. That end goes over the water pump. That end goes down there. We're looking at probably cutting 3 to 4 inches off of it. And then take whatever that thing is off so it doesn't slice the hose up. Just a little holder down there, I think probably for a wire. Take that off so it doesn't cut the hose. I'm going to trim that one up too, and I'll bring you back when it's done. You can't really see anyways what I'm doing. To make matters a little bit worse, you can see how it's kind of flattening out. It's because this port down here on the Pontiac radiator actually points kind of down. It angles down a little bit. So I could clearance on the frame here or whatever, but eventually I need to put a different radiator in here anyways. This will get us going good enough to last to, you know, make sure everything stays sealed up. Because remember, we placed all the freeze plugs on this because it was leaking profusely when we pulled it out of the engine, or pulled it out of the junkyard. So that should work for now. For now, I'm just going to put regular tap water in it. It needs to be flushed anyways, because when I did do the freeze plugs, the water jackets were really nasty. So I need to do a flush on it eventually. But I just want to get some water in it so we can run it a little bit longer in a couple seconds. So that's what I'm going to do, just put some water in it. I'll let you know if it leaks or anything. So we're on gallon number 4 right now. And it hasn't even made it up to the heater port yet, heater hose port. Haven't put nipples on there yet because I wanted to fill it up to that point first and make sure it's not leaking anywhere. So if it stays up to that point, we should be good. But it hasn't got there yet, and we're on gallon number 4. Well, that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see water coming out of somewhere. So that's good. We got it up here at the top of the intake too. It's hard to see, but you can see the reflection a little bit down in there. All right, so I'm gonna put nipples on there, attach a heater hose, And then, so yeah, right on. We got water in it now. All right, first start with the new carburetor. Let's see if it'll run. I don't have gas hooked up to it yet, but I'm going to do nothing other than I fill the bowls and squirt a little down the yak. Dirty. We got gas coming out, so the fuel pump's pumping. We just need to add some to it. Put a hose on. Should be good. And we can dial it in. All right, put 5 gallons in the tank. I put a filter up here as well. I've got one as it exits the tank underneath the truck. So we're double filtered. I still got to change the lines because that's still 5/16 line going back, and being a V8, you want 3/8. But it's 3/8 from here all the way up to here. But 5/16 from there all the way back to the tank. But I need to get a new sending unit and everything if I do 3/8 line. So basically, I just want to get it pumping. I want to see fuel come up through here. And it's not gonna be pretty fuel because it's the original tank that was in the truck. So yeah, it's 50-some years old. But let's see what she does now. Get all this stuff off here before it cranks and scares the crap out of me and falls off. Because that's happened before with this truck. There it is. All right, let's put some fuel to it here, or some spark to it. I don't want to touch anything, so I'll let the gas do the thing it's supposed to do. Definitely needs some timing, but it fired up on its own. That's pretty good. Definitely needs some adjustment, but man, the AVS2 carb just fires right up. I think the timing's off. We haven't really adjusted it yet. I haven't put a light on it yet, but I will have to go down through that hole right there to time it. But we can do that. Pretty cool. That sounded really good. All right, so we know it runs now with the new carburetor, which is good. It's got quite a bit of blow by, I've noticed. So I don't know if to do, hopefully valve seals will fix it. Or maybe just running, maybe doing a engine flush, I don't know. Just put some cleaner through there. Maybe I'll get some of that motor purr that Dalton uses. Try that out. I don't know. But we need a throttle linkage because I don't have that right now. And one of the things that I want to reiterate or emphasize is try to remember where you put your parts, because I've been looking for that throttle linkage for about a week now and I still haven't found it. So I got to find that. Exhaust, we gotta get some exhaust on it so I can actually hear what it's doing. Get a timing light on it. I kind of adjusted it by ear a minute ago, but you know, other than that, it's definitely needs some adjustment. Gotta figure out that blow by. But exhaust, we gotta do something about exhaust. And I'm kind of worried about this side here because it's so close to the starter and it's pointing right at it, so I don't know. I will figure it out though. I found the original throttle linkage and it's a little short. Because that was designed for, well, that was built for it being way back here. Plus it was originally the 6-cylinder, the inline 6 one, which looks like that when it's installed. So it's a little different. But we're going to have to modify it, make a new, probably just make a whole new one. Try to use this end here so I can clip it under the ball of that carburetor, because it does have one. It came with one to put on. So we'll just have to remake basically from this point here up and extend it. So I just got to figure out what the thread pitch is at. Looks like it's fine thread 1/4 inch. So maybe get some all thread. That way it's still adjustable. and I don't have any fine thread. So we'll figure it out. I gotta cut that off of there. We'll use this piece here and then just weld something to this. Kind of like what they did, but maybe a little better. Well, that's something you don't see every day. That wasn't welded on there. That was brazed on there. At first I thought it was JB Weld due to the way it's chunky. That explains it. Yep. Pretty good. There you have it. We got a throttle pedal now. That works as long as the choke is open. The secondaries are opening all the way. I don't know if you can see down in there or not, but they are. Just trust me. I've tested it. So now what I do is I use the piece that we had, and I found this piece right here, which is the screw from a motor, like holding the motor case together. And I welded it to that piece and put the piece on that and just used nuts to secure it. Good enough for me. We need to get some kind of exhaust on this thing so we can tune it easier and I'm not deafened by it. Now the way these manifolds kick back, I don't know if it's going to be an issue there, but it kicks back, you know, kind of into the, well, I guess it'll go below, but it's just, and that goes backwards, I guess. But the clutch assembly, the Z-bar and stuff, I think it's going to drop down a little bit further than what it was originally. Looks like we've got an oil leak down there, but that might be from when we spewed oil, from not having the fuel gauge or the oil gauge hooked up. So hopefully that's all it is and not a rear main seal or something else. But yeah, we're gonna get some exhaust on this thing. The manifolds came with new donuts and I found the piping that I need for the exhaust. So I think I'm just gonna use these ends on both sides and get those working too. Maybe even try putting this one in the whole thing and see how it goes. But it's pretty messed up, and I got two, you know, glass packs up here that I've had forever. That was part of a project I did on a 93 Camaro and ended up coming off of those, and you know, got those. They've been on 3 different vehicles now. They've been on the Firebird. But anyways, maybe we'll put those on here and do some true duels or something and go that route. But we got to get something on here because I can't stand the noise. It's way too loud. So that's what we're gonna do. Cut the driver's side piece off of the rest of the exhaust. I think whatever they got the 350 out of, when they did the swap 30 years ago, it must have been, where'd it go? Oh, right there. Must have been something that had a Y pipe, because you see how they got this pinched off? They ran it back. That's like, I don't know what the heck size that is. It looks like 2.5, and the original's should be like 2.25 or even 2 inch. So, but yeah, we gotta get this to fit up in there. Definitely gonna clean it up some because I don't really like the way it looks, but I might just do a whole new exhaust at some point in this. So we'll see, but we just gotta make sure we can get the fit down in there. And that's straight up and down right there. I don't think that's gonna work with that angle because these are the proper manifolds for this, but I don't know what it came out of originally, so what do we have? So yeah, that one goes straight down. That's the driver's side, but it's broken. And the ones I bought are not, you know, they're for a C10, 69 C10, but I don't know, I think it'd been better if they went straight down. I don't know, we'll make it work if we can. There's a little puddle underneath the truck. Check that out. The fuel line itself is leaking by the looks of it. Probably from where it's rusted out right there. So, planning on changing that anyways, but I need a sending unit first, so we'll worry about that later. But now I gotta be kind of careful now that I'll probably be welding. But yeah, gotta fix that leak now. At least the tank ain't leaking that we know of yet. Got the first little piece of downpipe done. Don't mind my welds. I'm welding new to 50-year-old stuff, so it's just one of those things that happens. So we're gonna get that up in there, let it cool down first. I give you some water. I gotta cool down first. It's getting warm. But that's the driver's side down. And it clears the linkages and everything, so we should be good on that. Tried doing a curve, kind of a, where's it at? I don't know where I did with it, but kind of tried to keep the curve in there, but I couldn't do it. It wouldn't stay. Like it was too high. It would interfere with other things. So I'm just gonna go straight down and I'll angle off of that. So yeah, that's where we're at. Yeah, get the first downpipe in. I'm piecing things together, so don't mind the fact that it's pieced together. So that's what we got so far. And that'll clear everything else underneath here. And I can add the support, the extra support to the cross member if I want to still. So there's that one. I'm gonna do the passenger side now. This is the original one that was on there. Talk about kind of restricted. Look how flattened that is there. So I'll probably cut it up here and try to reduce it down to that. I don't know, or expand it out to that. But yeah, this is pretty bad. And you get up here to this area here, and it's just all smashed, and that's like not even 2 inch. So yeah, I don't know. I might have to do something completely different for that. No, I have to use that because that's the size it is on the manifolds. So I'll probably just cut it off over here and then clean it up and weld on something better. Should probably go get some reducers and expansions and couplers and whatever else to make this work better, but let's see what I have up there for different sizes and see what I can go with, make it work. But I think I'm just gonna chop it off right here to start with. All right, so we got some new downpipes on this thing now. It actually sounds really good. So let's fire it up for you. Where's my stand at? Just so you get a better sound of it rather than just all that rattle from the exhaust manifold. It's got a nice deep tone to it now. And it's kind of high up right now, but okay, we're just listening to it. Let's hear it again. Sounded pretty good. Now you gotta get some mufflers on it. All right, so we got pipes now. So we got down pipes going back here to exits. I got a 10-foot piece from O'Reilly's, and just basically cut it in half to run it back to this far. And I can do mufflers at the back here. I know the light's kind of shining on you, but I could do mufflers from this point back, or I could just run it like this and do some dumps. I don't know yet. We'll see how it sounds. We got to finish welding. As you can see, there's kind of a gap on that one, but gotta weld this up and what that one's stuck on. Stupid piece of glass. So finish welding these up here and fire up, see how she sounds. And then we'll decide whether we want mufflers. All right, we got her all hooked up now. Just those 2 pipes were all I put in there, but it sounds really good. So I don't know if I'm gonna go with mufflers yet or not. Ready? Here we go. Definitely got quite a bit of blow by. We'll have to see if we can maybe valve seals, hopefully, be the easiest option. Maybe just some engine cleaner. Like I said, maybe I'll try some of that motor purr stuff. I don't know, we'll see. But she's running good. I mean, overall, quieted down quite a bit. Just got to, I don't know if I'm going to add mufflers yet or not. Maybe not right now, but maybe in the future we'll get some different mufflers. I don't know if I really want to put the glass packs on there yet or not. We'll see. But it's far from being ready for the road. We got to do some wiring on it too and get to where I can turn it on and shut it off from the inside and drive it that way. We got to fix that fuel leak too. Pretty sure it's just the line. So I got some new 3/8. I got the 3/8 sending unit on the way. So don't worry about that when that gets here, and do all 3/8 line all the way back. This is unusual to see that full all the time, but maybe it's not. I don't know. I'm used to seeing it kind of pumping. I wonder if it's putting out too much pressure. Maybe I should put a gauge on there and see, but we'll figure it all out. It's still fresh off the press here, so we'll make it work. Plus, I got wires. I got cut to fit wires so we can replace all the old wires with new wires. So got a lot to do on this thing. Brakes. We don't have any kind of brake in the back except for a cable for the parking brake. So we got to change all that, get all that fixed, get it all figured out. Still a lot to do, but we're having fun with it. I'm having fun with it. I hope you guys are too. There we go. Guess I can't go out any further. Pretty cool little truck. I had the glass packs because I want to see what it sounded like. I definitely like it a lot better. Still got a nice rumble to it, but quiet enough that it's not irritating. I like that. So they're staying. Just gonna weld them on. Got the fan going right now, so it's a little loud, but next thing we gotta do is we gotta get some wiring, because I want to be able to run this thing from inside. And we have the original wire harness from it. And yes, some of it is burnt, but most of it is all I've found so far was it looks like the horn button, or the horn, one of the wires to, yeah, the lighting. But if I just don't use that, we should be fine. So, but it worked, remember it worked. And it started up, fired fine in the yard and here at the house. So we're gonna hook that back up to make it work. And then we'll, worry about fixing all the bad things later. But I'm gonna go through the harness before I put it in, but I'm not gonna show all that because it's just a matter of, that goes to the firewall. That goes inside the firewall, screws in. Then you got 2 plugs on the outside, this one here and that one there for all your controls. So I'm just gonna look at it real quick off the truck, make sure I can make everything work, and then go from there. I'll show you real quick one of the wires I'm replacing. This is known as a resistor wire. You can tell because they're usually covered in some kind of cloth, kind of like the old 5-volt systems back in the day. There's a better view of it. See, it's got a cloth fitting around it. Well, I pulled it out of the plug over here. I'm gonna replace it with just a standard wire because we have HEI. We don't need it resisted down. We need full 12 volts. So just taking that out and replacing it with a solid wire will replace or take care of the ignition we have on the truck. All right, so I basically got it dropped down to 3 wires we need. Well, not even need. One of them is temp sensor. One's your start wire and one's the ignition wire. These 3 over here, one is your brake switch, so like a low pressure switch. The other is your reverse lights. So that's actually was chewed up, so I have to repair that anyways. And I don't know what I'm gonna do for a harness on this yet. This is just temporary, so I can drive it from the inside of the truck. So those are the main 3 we have or need, and mainly the 2, the ones we need to make a start. That one's just gonna be a bonus if the temp sensor works. So that's what I'm hooking up on that. I'm gonna go through the inside harness and see if there's any bad damage on that. And we should be able to hook it all up. Get rid of some of the stuff that doesn't need to be here. All right, so I went through and I found the burnt wire. It was this one right here. And the only place it's connected to was to this point right here in the turn signal plug. So I cut it back to here and I'm gonna trim it back some more here. But it's just a dead end wire now. There's nothing attached to it anywhere else. I tested every other connection and that goes nowhere else. So it shouldn't be a problem. So we can get this put in and we can get the ignition and everything going again. So I think I got everything hooked up, right? I changed out the battery cable because this is when I originally hooked up for this to cross over for the main power to the switch. So let's see, make sure we don't have any arky sparkies up here. And we got rid of our little keyway. Nothing there. So there's our starter wire, there's our ignition wire, there's our temp sensor, which won't be hooked up yet. So I haven't plugged in the dash yet. Just kind of want to see if the key works. Make sure she's got to get out of gear. Look at that. All right. So we can run it from the inside now. But we got to fix that fuel line first. We'll do that probably Tuesday. This is Sunday. Since I got some new 3/8 line, I'm going to go ahead and pull this fuel line off of here because, as you can see, it leaked pretty good overnight. I don't want to lose any more fuel. There's a puddle even underneath the truck. So I just want to get that line out of there so it stops leaking. I'll go ahead and pull the sending unit too just because it'll be here tomorrow. And then we'll make new line. Actually, I'll probably maybe leave that. I'll make that once I get the new line in tomorrow. The new sending unit in tomorrow. We're gonna get that off of there so it stops leaking. Yeah, it's just a bit crusty. I'm sure there's a hole there somewhere. I'm gonna clean it off and see if I can find it specifically so we know that this is the only issue. Well, it didn't take much to find that hole. Just knocked off some of the rust and there it is. So that's good, that's our leak. Simple fix, make a new line. So with 3/8 this time. All right, well these are the two lines I need to make out of 3/8 hard line now. And this is, yeah, that's the back. This is the front. This will be extended about, I don't know, 8 to 10 inches to bring it out towards the front of the motor where the fuel pump is at. This one right here is where our leak was at. So I'll make a new one out of 3/8 as well. And just gotta make sure I have a nut on it and it'll be good to go. And then we'll, when we get the 3/8 sending unit in, we'll have a full-on 3/8 fuel line, or fuel system, which will be cool. So, gotta do that. And I gotta pull the brake line off. I had a bunch of stuff, but we're not gonna worry about the brakes right now, but we're gonna get this fuel line done because I wanna end this video by driving this out of the shop. So, I need this stuff to do that. All right, so I got the fuel line in now. It goes from here, right there, all the way back to the back. I haven't connected it yet to this one because I want to make sure it's connected to the sending unit first. That one's done. The one underneath is done. I've been working on the seat, getting it ready to go back in. No, it doesn't have a cover, but I just want something to sit on when I drive it again. I did get some of these, but they didn't fit right. I know the one that I have, the one that comes with the headrests, is the same one I'm putting in here. And I just haven't fitted it yet, but it fits a lot better and it'll cover up the seat at least. So I gotta get another one of those. I meant to get another one like that because I knew it would work, but I got the wrong one. So I had the other one. I had one like this. I got another one thinking it was the one I used, but it wasn't. But I'll get that, I don't know, probably not tomorrow, but I got a doctor's appointment tomorrow, but at least I'll have something to sit on this time. And that was the original seat out of it, what was left of it. If I really want to, I'll probably repad it, but I'm not going for luxury in this thing right now, obviously, because I just need it to function. But that's what we got. That's where we have the seat. I got it working. I had to make a new tab down here. I've done that before. Did it on the one ton actually. So got a new tab on there. I connected it. It slides, works good. So good to go on that. And I'm gonna make it tilt, even though it doesn't normally tilt, but if you just remove these top bolts here, it will. I've got one in there just holding it in right now, but it'll tilt that way. I might put a stopper or something in the back, just like I was planning on doing on that one. I haven't done yet, so you know. But yeah, that'll work for me. And so we're good on the seat, I think. Once we get the sending unit, replace that, fix that, be done with that, put the seat in, and hopefully drive. I got a package delivered here. There you go. That is from Summit, and the dogs just realized I'm going outside, so they came up barking. See them at the windows? How much are those doggies in the window? Right there. So we got that, and we also stopped at O'Reilly's on the way home from my doctor's appointment, which my doctor's appointment is 2 hours away from where I live. And we also got grasshoppers. Nope, we got a couple filters, and hopefully the seat cover that'll fit like it does on the one ton. All right, so I had to make a whole new one because the shape I made of the original one did not fit. This right here kicked up too far and out too far, so I had to modify it, make it better, but that's a pretty nice fit now. It's pointing directly towards the frame mounted side, so we are good to go. Let's hook up the filter and the fuel system will be done. All right, we got her all hooked up. Time to check for leaks. Let's fire it up. Down there. coil blow by bad. Well, it was coming off on the video or not, but there we go. Didn't look too bad. Definitely better than just padding, huh? So we gotta get that put in the truck. So we have the fuel system done, and we can put this in there and have a seat to drive with for the first time since I've driven it. The last few times I drove sitting on this floor right there. So it'd be nice to have a seat. All right, we got the seat in there with padding and a cover. And that can fit in here nicely. It's pretty cool. This one pad right here that's underneath my seat definitely needs some attention at some point. But of course we don't have real good floors, but this is something we can drive now. Definitely gotta get the choke working, so it's that and probably the fast idle adjustment. And whatever that rattle is, we gotta figure out that rattle. Before we drive, we gotta put gear lube in it too, because a lot of it spilled out, so I know it's low. But yeah, she's almost a driver again. Now, is she a stopper? Is she a lit up? Is she lit? No, not at all. But we have power to the ignition, and we can drive it around the yard at least, and maybe out in the streets of Mexico, maybe, possibility. Brakes definitely are an issue. The fronts I rebuilt, kind of. I can't remember, did I replace shoes? I replaced wheel cylinders and hoses. And they were working, but the master cylinder is junk, or the proportioning valve is. And the rear brakes don't have anything on them. And I cut the line over here for that, so gotta remove that. Probably plug the hole on this just to be to get it out. But yeah, that's where we're at on that. Nothing for the rear, but we got a driver and you know, something I can sit in now. Definitely got to figure out that blow by too. Hopefully it'll just take a flush, an engine flush. But you never know. We'll figure it all out though. Oh, I forgot, we got to do spark plug wires. I got brand new spark plug wires, but I'm not worried about that this video because it runs the way it is, so we're good on that. So I was getting ready to push it back, but I figured what the heck, might as well drive it back, right? It doesn't have any brakes at all now. But it moved on its own power. Now I'm just going to throw some of the Marble Mystery Oil in there. See if that will help quiet things down and maybe help with the blow-by. So that's what we're going to do. Stick some of that in there. Oil filter, or fuel filter is kind of inconvenient right there. So let me put some of this in there and we'll fire it up, let it run a little bit on that. Just mess with the timing. It's set to 12 degrees initial. It's got about 26 total. I know it's not much, but I'm sure it's probably because of the distributor. That needs to be replaced, I'm sure. But it runs. We don't care right now. So, all right, got that part done. I got this thing about ready to drive, but the problem is it won't idle now, and I don't know why. I backed the choke off thinking that might have been it because it's not hooked up. I've got a fly flying around here. But what I'm going to check next, and this is what's been going on with everything, and same thing I had to fix on the 1-ton. I'm going to check the fuel pressure because if that carburetor is getting more than 6.5 psi of fuel pressure, it will not like it and it'll flood, and that could be causing it to stall out and not idle. So we're going to try that. We're going to hook up a fuel pressure regulator, or fuel pressure gauge, and see what we're getting. Right now, I need to. It's drivable. I could drive it up on the trailer, which I need to do anyways because I got a call from the tag agency and it's ready to be, all the paperwork's in. So I got to go take it in to get it inspected so they can check the VIN number and with the paperwork. So I just got to get it loaded up. But the whole point of this was to get this thing driving, and it'll drive the way it is right now. I just got to keep pedaling it, but I don't want to do that. So we want to figure out why it ain't idling. So we're gonna throw the pressure gauge on there and see what it's reading. You all watch this, because I can't keep it running. I have to run out, and I'm a little worried right now because I spilled a bunch of gas because it was pressurized like something fierce, which, you know, kind of tells me it might be the issue. So let's fire it up for a second just to see. Hopefully we don't catch on fire. Fine. All right, you all watch that gauge. We're watching right in this area right here. That should be the PSIs for the fuel pressure. All right, I'm going to have to rely on what you guys saw. And is that pegged right now? All right, so is it anywhere near 6.5 PSIs? I really doubt it. Let me check the video. You guys know, I don't yet. Well, you all saw it, and now I saw it. That thing went straight up and pegged, didn't it? And it's sitting here freaking rising as we're sitting here waiting. So, yeah, I think we definitely have an issue. And it blew out gas when I disconnected it because it was still pegged. So, yeah, we definitely got some a fuel pressure issue for sure. Well, luckily, on my last Summit order, I needed something to get me up over 120 bucks for free shipping. So I happened to have them send out another fuel pressure regulator. So we might put that in line to see if it'll take care of the problem. I mean, as much pressure as that thing's putting out, I don't know. It's kind of iffy in general, but we'll make it work. There we have it. We got her loaded up. And that granny gear likes to jump forward. If you saw in the video where I said, whoa, that was the reason why. I got scooted over a little bit. I'll probably put a jack up underneath the front there and just move it over a little bit. But she is ready to go to the tag agency tomorrow to finish up the titling process. So pretty cool. As of tomorrow, I will own this truck and it'll be titled and registered. So be pretty happy about that. Then I have to go in and actually make it roadworthy by, you know, getting lights working. What the heck happened there? Oh, that's weird. That's just from doing the burnout back here, trying to get the thing loaded. Look at that. It didn't want to go up on the freaking truck or on the trailer. It went on easier in the junkyard than it did here. I'll have to fill that hole now. But anyways, we got her loaded. Just gotta scoot her over just a little bit in the front and get her strapped down and take her to the tag agency tomorrow. It's a good place to leave this one. We got her loaded, got her ready to finish up the titling process tomorrow. So yeah, that's gonna be it. And pretty soon we'll be able to make this thing roadworthy and drive it around. It needs a lot. You know, don't get me wrong, it doesn't even have rear brakes at all. It's got one drum in the back and that's it. But it'll be good enough to get it, you know, it's good enough to get it titled. All I need to do is do a VIN verification tomorrow. That's what we're gonna do. So if you like this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And for everybody who's been here till the very end, I really appreciate it. So until next time, I'll see y'all later.